My name's Minuteman. I'm your casual, friendly neighborhood scrub, and I play a lot of King and Armor King. There's an Armor King plaque on my wall right now, and I would show it to you, but I don't feel like moving my Logitech camera because I am streaming, and we need to keep it professional. I am going to show you how to play King in no time. I heavily recommend go checking out really good King players to watch their pace of combat, but here's the beginner stuff. What's the first thing you need to know as King? You need to know that he has a length and distance advantage. Any character with long-range moves in Tekken, that's a good thing. And if you don't believe me, go try to hit somebody in neutral with Kazuya with all his stubby little moves that he needs to do at range 1. With King, your big moves start with your lows. Since Season 3, forward, neutral 2 is heavily buffed. It's fast, it's hard to launch on block, it's +1 on hit, and it's a fantastic low poke. So forward, neutral 2, fantastic move. Another good low poke, down 3. 17 frames, also +1 on hit. And, on top of everything, on counter hit, it didn't get the buff Armor Kings did, but it's just such a solidly damaging move that does good mental damage. The sound of it, that cracking sound, your enemy's not going to like that. They're not going to enjoy that. Your other good basic low poke, very simply, most people think, oh yeah, alley kick, which is good, no lie, it's very good, but on hit, it's -9. You're not getting a lot there. Now, down 4. Similar range, faster, which is important, 14 frames, and even though it's bad on whiff because it can get punished very hard by good players, a lot of people aren't going to punish that all that well. So, down 4, down 3, forward, neutral 2. Those are your low pokes. Moving on, your launchers. Simplest 2 launchers in the world. You've got a fantastic hop kick, and you've got a fantastic full crouch launching mid. They are both 15 frames. So that is a very, very good thing to have for a launcher with long range. King has long range on his down forward 2, and he has pretty good range on the up forward 4. It's much better than Armor King's, I can tell you that much from personal experience. It'll hit all the way from basically range 1 or range 2, which is right where we're about here. And then you can get combos afterwards, but don't worry about that combo. You don't want to do that one. That's not exactly good. Those launchers are so important, but also you want to learn one thing. You have 2 mini launchers. Your main bully moves in the neutral when you're trying to play the neutral and get in versus your enemy, very simple. 2 big, really good mid moves. Forward 1, and forward neutral 1+2. These are fast, these have really good properties, and these are moves that will not get you blown up unless you completely messed up the spacing. If you completely whiff forward 1, I don't know what to say to you. You're going to get launched. It's going to happen. Somebody's going to see that. If you're playing a Kazuya or some kind of Mishima, they're going to electric the hell out of you. But it's so good. Even on block, it's only -5, which is very safe. A move this strong should really be like -8 or -9. -5, fantastic, even on block. You can still move. You just can't really hit a button or be too, crazy with your buttons when that's happening. The reason forward neutral 1+2 is so good is because not only is it incredibly fast, it's 9 frames, which is faster than jabs, realize. Not only is it very good at being a very fast mid, it has weird properties. It does not grant any damage, but on counter hit, and since it's so fast, it will counter hit, you are guaranteed a forward 2-1 right afterwards. This is good at the wall, this is good out in the open, this is good no matter how you slice it. So, you have very, very strong launchers that aren't really launchers, but basically function the same. You are doing them in neutral to try to catch your opponent pressing buttons and get some guaranteed damage. It's a mini launcher, basically. It's a grenade launcher. And then the added bonus to that forward neutral 2 is if you mess up the input and get a forward 2, guess what? You just got a fantastic low. So you lucked out anyway. It's an option select if you miss the input. No big deal. So those are your launchers. The combo is basically the same. We'll talk about that later. But the combo is very easy, very quick to learn. I just did it right there with the down forward 2. And now we'll do it with the hop knee. The hop knee. I say hop kick, but it is a hop knee, which is very good against Asuka. So you just get the launcher, forward 3, down forward 4-3, down forward 2-1, which is called double hook disaster. And then you powerbomb them. 60 damage, all set. It's not optimal, but it is easy. That's what we're going for here. Want the beginner stuff. What's next? You want Your plus on block moves, the things that let you bully your opponent with plus frames. When you're playing Tekken, it's all about the frames. Abuse them, use them. With King, 2 very simple moves. If your opponent is being patient, but you want to make sure they take a proper mix-up, what we need is frame advantage. Now, usually frame advantage is a jab, a blocked jab, which will give you plus frames even if you get it blocked. Not 1, 2, but 1 rather. Even when blocked, you will get +1. But with King, he has a couple of good plus frame moves. The main ones I'm thinking of, forward 1+4, the pecs, or, better yet, and what a lot of you guys will probably use, capital punishment. Now, capital punishment has the added benefit of also being a launcher on regular hit. So this will catch them ducking, or it will catch them being patient and give you plus frames. This is linear, and this doesn't have as good range as you might think it does because you can whiff. If you're too far away and you're like me and you whiff this in front of somebody, they're going to launch you just like they would with the forward 1. Doesn't matter. Main thing that's important, +2 on block. So, you're online, you want to put some pressure on somebody who likes to mash a little bit, but they're doing some blocking. You get in with your usual get-in moves from long range, forward 1 plus neutral 1+2, or forward 1. But if they're being patient, or maybe if they're fuzzy guarding, which is, guarding while ducking to try to catch multiple defensive options. Fuzzy guarding is weird in Tekken, don't quote me on that definition, but that's what it looks like. They're backing up and they're constantly ducking. You want to do this to catch them either with the launcher, or if they block, with the plus frames. Once you have those plus frames, it's a different story. We want to start abusing the plus frames. We want to start using the plus frames. And the way we use the plus frames is by doing big moves that use the frame advantage well. With King, yet again, it's easy as pie. With King, once you have the plus frames, your mix-up is a throw, a counter hit launching high, back 1, or a launcher. Usually, when people are ducking, it's because they fear your giant swing, they fear your muscle buster, they fear your throw game, they fear your back 1. They're fearing all these moves that you could throw out to land big damage. You could just giant swing the hell out of them. They don't like that. You could throw the second throw in there. They don't want to take that mix-up. They would rather duck. But that's when the hop kick comes into play. So, when you know the opponent is ducking, forward 4 mid at the wall to splat them, up forward 4 just to get the full launcher if you're really, if you really believe in the mix, or if you start getting fancy, stuff like that to catch them when they're ducking to get them into a 50-50 mix-up with the crouch throw attempt. So getting those plus frames is as simple as 2 moves. Up forward 1+2 on block, forward 1+4 on block or on hit. On hit, this move is +7. On block, it's still +3. That is phenomenal. The main downside of this move is that it's linear and the range is short. You're not going to be doing this from very far away, okay? If you're far away at all, this is down forward 2 range, full crouch, not peck range. If you're at the wall, now we're talking. Throw this out all day just to see if they get clipped with it, or if they get up and block and then take that +3. What's next? Besides the counter hit moves, let me just add this to that last section. A very good counter hit move is a very simple, you want to throw out that down back 3. If your enemy is going to be mashing, it's a high crush, it's a counter hit launcher, very, very good. I think in Season 3 it's even better, it got buffed. You can do King's Easy combo there and get a solid chunk of damage. I forget what the optimal combo is. His regular combo should work fine. Yeah, 67 damage there. So on counter hit, back 1. Back 1 is a counter hit, very fast, high launcher. That is 12 frames and will give you a full combo. So we're talking, I think, 63 damage? Let me do it correctly, maybe we'll get there. One moment. Attempt number 3. My apologies. It's a good thing this guy's going on YouTube, where I need to make a good impression. you go. 62 damage. Solid. Very solid. So that's basically it in that regard. And then it comes down to game plan. Those are the moves you're using, but your main game plan should really be to abuse King's range and then his up-close mix-up game. King is a grappler in Tekken, which doesn't make him like a traditional grappler, where if you get close, it's time to do some untechable throws. No, people can tech your throws. So it's about abusing your range advantage, pushing them to the wall, and then really mixing them up with stuff like forward to wall splat if they try sidestepping, up 1+2 to grab them and throw them against the wall for a wall splat combo throw. There's a lot of things you can do with that spacing. So bullying the other person, bullying your opponent with forward 1+2, forward 1, and then launching them with full crouch down forward 2 when they start pressing buttons or getting overzealous, or catching them sidestepping with forward 1 because it's a great all-in-one move, is so good. And then you supplement that with lows and highs. You have mids that are your go-to offensive option for something safe but strong. You got down forward 1-2, you got down forward 2 by itself. Don't do a lot of down forward 2-1 because the second hit's a high and good players will duck it and launch your ass. But a down forward 2 by itself, that is a fantastic move. It is 13 frames and you can just about hit confirm it into the high launcher into a confirmed mini combo. But by itself it's good versus mashing characters just because it leads to a natural 45 damage combo that's effortless to do. Your main game plan, and I would recommend going to watch Daddy King. He's a fantastic Korean player. He does high-level match videos. He plays against Knee and all those high-level Korean players all the time. And he posts a lot of YouTube videos. He recommended this as your main style to play with King. It's very easy. You do a lot of jabbing and a lot of strings up close. This is because King's jabs are very, very good. They get him frame advantage. They're good distance. And on top of everything, he has a good jab string. He has a jab string that goes into mids, and this will catch people ducking. Now, if you counter hit them, this is where the real bonus starts, in that you're up close, and now it's time to mix up. Now it's time to throw. Now it's time to hop kick. Now it's time to crack them with a down 3 out of nowhere, and then maybe back up and wait for them to whip, and then catch them with a down forward 2. There are so many things you can do up close to mix your enemy up as King. You can, if you're good sidestepping, you can sidestep around them for the sidestep 2 launcher. There's a lot of things you can do once up close. You can do pecs like we mentioned, but your main system should be, when you're at this long range and you want to get in, it's very simple. Shining Wizard, forward 1, forward 1+2, and then if you want to throw a low wrinkle in there, as we discussed earlier, forward neutral 2. So forward neutral 1+2, I meant to say, with the shove. These are all moves that will let you get into the opponent and bully them towards the wall in a safe fashion. The forward neutral 2 is slowest out of all those options I just mentioned, I think. Forward 1 is 22 frames, but the distance is so far, and it's such a safe move that even on block, it's -5. So you should be okay throwing that out as long as you're not whiffing it too hard, or the enemy isn't doing something very fast to counter hit you. Your game plan is just like I mentioned. You want to do jabs, you want to be in their face. If you get frame advantage, or if you catch them getting hit by a jab, you want to go into a giant swing, you want to go into a Tijuana titty twister, you want to go into a crouch dash throw, you want to go into whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever you want to use. Your damage comes from these throws, though, so do not ignore these throws. You can win a match without them, but they're so good that a big portion of your game plan should be hitting your opponent with mids like shove and forward 2 and down forward 1 and hop kick, and all these mids are meant to get them to respect the rest of your game. They have to stand there and take your mix-up. If they're ducking and they're punishing you and they're launching you, you're doing something wrong because you're not checking them enough with the mids. You feel me? So, I would demonstrate this in a real match, but it's almost 1 a.m. and I gotta go post this video on YouTube. You guys have a good night, thank you for watching, and I hope this little mini King guide was helpful.